शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदताम् ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, verse number 31. So we are reading Krishna's Rāsa-līlā, and we read how he was going around stealing from the house of the gopis, and then they came to complain. So they were explaining how he very cleverly makes arrangement to steal, either by sending the people away by some trick like releasing the calves, or he mesmerizes them by his smiles and looks. So this verse also in the same continuation. Evam dharshtyani usati kurute mehanadini vastav steyopaye nivrichita kriti supratiko yathaste इत्थं स्त्रीभिः सभनयन श्रीमुखालोकनीभिः व्याख्यातार्था प्रहसितमुखी नहि उपलब्धुमैच्छत्। So this they are concluding in this sloka. They are saying evam dharshtyani usati kurutai. So he says that in this way he performs many like shameless acts, but they are beautiful. Ushati. Or Ushati is an headdress of Yashoda, that of beautiful Yashoda, that's what they are doing. And Mehanadini Vastav Kurute. He also urinates in the house. Steyo Pair Virachit Kriti Supratiko Yathaste. So he performs various tricks to steal, to get the things from our house. And now you see how innocently he is sitting here in front of you, because he was sitting when they were complaining. So supratiko yathaste. So now performing all these activities, virachita kriti, he comes and sits very innocently. Itham stribhir sabhayana shrimukhalokani. So he was sitting there and there was fear in his eyes, sabhayana. And all the gopis, they were looking at him. So shrimukhalokani bhi, gopi bhi or stri bhi. Vyakhyata artha prahishat mukhir nahi upalabdhamach. So in this way, when they complained and explained what all he does, all the various activities, so then Yashoda just smiled and she did not feel like chastising Krishna. Because how can he chastise such a nice, innocent looking boy whom she has not seen doing anything like this? So na kevalam chauryam eva kurute ityahu evam iti. So not only that he steals, but he also performs other activities. He ushati, he kamaniye, oh beautiful Yashoda, swaputra guna shravanena anandite. That Yashoda, who was very pleased by hearing the qualities or the activities of her son. Hey Yasashwini, oh the famous one, Vastav Deva Puja Artham Amrishta Lipta Bhumo Mehanadini Mutra Purusha Utsargadini Dhashtyani Padravan. So he performs various disturbing activities where we have smeared the earth for doing puja. He goes and urinates there. And many other activities he performs like this, such as Purandhri Janak Jana Veni Uttriya Akarshana Vivaha Chikirsha Pada Prahardini. So he goes to the ladies and pulls their braid or hangs on it, or he will snatch away the upper cloth, or he will go to somebody, you marry me. And if they don't listen, then he kicks them. Pada Praharadini. So these are the various types of naughty activities he performs. Kincha tava anena tanayena mahati sampattir bhavini tyahaste rupai. So they are saying that your son, he will surely bring lot of wealth to you, because he is already stealing. So when he grows, then he will become a bigger thief. He is already very expert. So then he is going to bring some good booty, stealing from the houses. So vitta steya rupai rupair vittarjanair visheshena rachita kriti vyaparo yenasa. So he is using various types of means to steal, and in this way he will earn wealth. बाल्ये दधि चोरयति यौवने परवित्त कलत्रादीनि अपि चोरयिष्यति इति भाव. So now he is small, so he is only stealing yogurt, butter, etc. When he grows, he will steal wealth. He will also steal somebody's wives or daughters, because we don't know what all he can do. Svatvat samipam tu supratikah sadhuriva aste. But next to you he is sitting so innocent looking boy, as if he doesn't know anything, and he's wondering why they're complaining about me like this. Tasam prem visheshamaya futkara phalamahas. So when they were speaking like this, they were blowing wind from their mouth, like this. Look at this. So he became scared. Sabhaya nayanam mata mam tadishyati iti shanka vyakula. So he thought that now my mother is going to slap me, beat me. So he was in anxiety. And even in that state he looked very beautiful. And he had that fear in his eyes. He was looking more beautiful. Sriyuktam sachakitam. So endowed with that beauty and surprise or wonder what will happen now. Vivala drishti itva lakshana shobha vishishta. So he had that beauty of disturbed eyes or disturbed sight. So he was looking, that was the beauty. Mukham aloke tum shilam yasham tabhir vyakhyatort. So these gopis are called here as Srimukha Alokani bhi. So this Alokani here is not that they were seeing, but this was their want or nature to look at his face. So this Nini Pratyaya is used in the sense of Shila, something which one performs regularly. So Mukhalokani bhi Vyakhyato, they gave this description. Sri Krishna Dharshya Darshana Shravana Vivid Bhava Shobhita Tanmukha Avalokanutha Anando Yasya Sa. So by hearing all these naughty activities of her son and seeing the face of Krishna, then Yashoda, she was very happy. If somebody comes and complains to you about your child or friend or relative, you don't feel happy, but she was very happy to hear the complaint. अतएव प्रहसित मुखी तासाम स्वस्य च आनंदेन प्रफुल्लित मुखी उपालब्धुम आक्षेप्तुम न इच्छद इच्छामपि न करोति. So therefore she is described here as prahisat mukhi, or who has the beautiful smile on her face, and seeing the happiness of the gopis and also her own happiness, she did not feel like chastising Krishna. So not that she did not chastise, she did not even think of chastising. So ichha api na karot. It is one thing that one does not chastise, but one may have the thought of doing it. So she did not even have the thought of, because there is so much love. Mata suta dharshtyena ima anande nimajjantu tattat suchiyantyo mamapi nimajjantu iti akanksha iti bhava. So why is that she did not chastise him? She realized that these gopis are actually enjoying by complaining. So if I chastise him, then he will stop. Then they will have nothing to complain. Then they will not feel happy. So why shall I take away their happiness? And my happiness also, because I am also feeling happy that they are coming and talking about my child. So therefore, not to obstruct the happiness of the gopis and her own happiness, she did not desire to complain or chastise. So there is one word in this sloka which is troublesome, and that is mehanadini. So mehan means, it is generally used for urinating. Of course it comes from miha dhatu, which means sinchane. In Hindi, meha is used for rain also. In Hindi, this is mehe aage mehe, because it comes from miha dhatu. So it can also mean that he was just sprinkling water at them. Mehan. So you know that bull is called Vrishabha because he also rains, Varsha comes from the same root as Vrish Sinchane. So when bull is urinating, there is a lot of rain. So it can also mean that. So some people, commentators, Jiva Goswami says that people become free from material bondage, which means also from the problem of urinating, by hearing and chanting Krishna's name. They become liberated. So how he can do these things? So there are certain people, there are 4 people who are called Punya Shloka in the history. So Punya Shloka are those people who are free from urination or passing stool. They don't do that. So Malamutra Rahita Punya Shloka iti smrita. Those who are free from Mala and Mutra, they are called Punya Shloka. So there is one Shloka which is called Punya Shloka Nalo Raja, Punya Shloka Yudhishthira, Punya Shloka Vedehi, Punya Shloka Janardana. So King Nala, he was a famous king. Story, it's not in Bhagavatam but in long story in Mahabharata. He was king of Vidarbha. So he called Punya Shloka, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is Punya Shloka, and Sita Devi and Krishna is called Punya Shloka. So means that they don't have the need for a bathroom. You can build a non-attached house for them. They don't need to go to toilet. Otherwise, whether he went in the forest with 2 men, where will she go for toilet there? Right? It will be a problem for her. So she is Punya Shloka. So they need to do that. So
Babaji, just to get clear on this, so Jiva Goswami does not accept that Krishna urinated. These pastimes, which are quite famous, of Krishna urinating here and there, and even passing stool, he would not accept that.
how are you going to say that it is very famous?
And because that's so often, that's very well known, and he's telling them.
No, I'm
We have so
asking.
many stories.
I'm asking how is it well known? From where?
From Katha.
Yeah, but which katha? This is the only one word here which came.
Maybe people,
Nowhere it is mentioned anywhere. There is only one
How
word.
became so famous then?
No, this is only one word. Mehan.
Is it in any other Purana?
No. At least I don't know. And
So then that's just
yeah, you can.
Bhāgavata.
One word can make a person famous. What is it? Sometimes one word is powerful. In Bhagavatam it is only said once, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Right? So just because of one word, he becomes Swayam Bhagavan. Otherwise he's just an avatar. So don't undermine the power of one word. So Mehanadini, because you have to also think that okay, he is doing this pastime, but we also have to keep in mind that he is transcendental person. So either you can say that he was just producing it for the sake of Leela, or he is free from that. So this is the end of the complaint. Only problem is that if he did it once, then he is doing it all the time because his Leela is Nitya. So once is not once. Once means all the time. Anything else? Ekada क्रीडमानस्ते रामाद्या गोपदारकः Krishno mridam bhakshitvan niti matre nyavedayan. So one day, now this is another famous pastime of Krishna. He was playing with the children along with Balram and other cowherd boys. So then Krishna, he ate clay. Mridam bhakshitvan. So then they came and they complained. There were always people complaining against him. He had some Saturn Dasha, Shani Dasha. And all the time some people are complaining. So some people also describe like that from Jyotish point of view, that this is why Krishna is keeping the peacock feather, because by keeping that he counteracts Shani, influence of Shani. Blue color, So they came and complained. So now Krishna is eating clay because in Upanishad it is said that Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mritika ityeva satyam. Because they want to show that only Brahma is Satya and everything else is just. Vaishnava Vedanta is a manifestation of that, and for Advaita Vedanta it's not real. So they interpret differently. Vacharambhano vikaro namadheyam mritika iti. That you take mritika, you make pot, you make cup, right? Plate. You can make so many things from mritika, clay. So he says it is clay only which is real. Everything is just name and form. But those name and form are not real. Because they're temporary. Which is not in the beginning, which is not in the end, is not in the middle. Adavanta yannasti madhyapitu tattatha. So in the beginning is mritika. Then you make a cup, then you break, then it is mritika, clay again. So in the beginning was clay, and was clay, in between something happened. It's like in the beginning it was a rope, then you mistook it for a snake, then you threw light on it and you saw it is a rope. So in the beginning it was rope, in the end it is rope, in between snake. Where is the snake? It is only name. Namadhyam. Namadhyam means name. And Vacharambhana, it's only a word coming from your mouth. Snake, there is no snake. So Vacharambhano Vikaro. Vikara means transformation. So this is Mritika which transforms. Because whatever you are eating only Mritika only. You eat bread, chapati, rice, dal, vegetables. From where are they coming? From clay. They are coming from earth. They are product of earth. Right? So you are eating it. Your body is also clay pot. Right? So it's therefore it's made of food. Food is coming from earth. That's why you have to eat food all the time to maintain it. So Krishna says, why not eat that thing only from which everything is coming? Let's taste it. That is the source, that is the reality. Everything else is just a transformation. So let's go to the cause, the root cause of everything is Mritika. So he says, I'm going to eat that. So he is proving Vedanta, that look, this is the Vedanta. And Vedascha Sarvairaham Veda. Vedanta Krita. I am the Vedanta Krita, I am the author of Vedanta. So he has to teach it also. So he is teaching. Or he says, well, all the devotees all the time saying, please give me dust, give me dust. Right? Everybody wants the dust from the feet of gopis, from Vrindavan, Vrajraj. Right? Vrajraj jab mastak pade, mukti muktu hai jaye. So Mukti, she went to Krishna. She said, Lord, I have a request. He says, what? What is your request? So he says, I'm giving liberation to everybody, but I'm not getting liberated. So many people have become liberated because of me. I'm Mukti. But I don't get mukti myself. The mukti is not getting mukti. So he says, you take some Vrajraj, some dust from Vrindavan, put on your head, you will become liberated. So Vrajraj jab mastak pade, mukti muktu hai jaye. So he says that I want to see what is the glory of this Vrajraj. Brahma says, I want to be kimapi gulmalatavastha. And Madhava prays like this. So what is the significance of this Vrajraj, this clay of Vrindavan, which all the great sages also hanker to have? So let me taste it. There must be some sweetness in it. So therefore he is eating that. So Purandharinam Suchanam Vatsalya Rasa Ashwad Falkam Samapya Sahacharaणामपि Suchanam Vismaya Rasa Ashwad Udarkam Aha Ekdaiti. So what we read now, this was the complaint by the gopis, the Vrajastris, the ladies of the Vraja. They came and complained. So that was one pleasure, the pleasure of gopis complained. So Yashoda relished that. Gopis also enjoyed that. Now there is pleasure of the complaint by the cowherd boys. They should also complain. Because Krishna takes everybody's complaints. Right? People in the material world always complain, God is this, God is that. If there is God, why there is so much suffering? Why God is doing this? Why God is right? devotees also complain, why this is happening to me, I am devotee. So everybody complains about him. Gopis complain, boys complain. So he is quite used to this complaint. So he says that now the gopis they complain, now the boys sahacharanam api suchanam Vishma ras ashvada udarkam, and their complaint is going to result in Vishma rasa, the rasa of wonder. So various types of rasas are there. One is the rasa of Vishmaya, wonder. Like 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is the Vishmaya rasa. Because Arjuna sees this, he gets astonished. So here also Yashoda will have a similar experience of Vishmaya rasa because of the complaint. So this complaint is good. It's giving some Vishmaya rasa. Chamatkar. Actually the essence of every rasa is chamatkar. Rasa sar chamatkar. The essence of rasa is chamatkar. So something which expands your heart. Otherwise it is not rasa. So dadhanasteo anuplambham prochya praha mrido asne upalambham jananya iti dvaye. So he says that dadhana steyo anupalambham prochya. After describing the stealing of yogurt, etc., and not getting chastised, because that complaint went wasteful. The result, when you complain to somebody, then your object is that the person who has done wrong should be taken care of, should be punished, chastised. Something should be done to that. If that does not happen, then what is the benefit of complaint? So upalambham jananya. So therefore iti dvaye prema iti hetutam. So here of course he says that the cause of in both places he will not get chastised. Here also in the previous complaint and this complaint, in both cases he would not get chastised. And the reason for this is Vatsalya Prema. That Yashoda's love is so great that she does not feel to chastise him. Sa grihitva kare krishnam upalabhya hitaishini Yashoda bhaya sampranta prekshanam abhasata. So Krishna was actually playing with his friends. Then he started eating. Yashoda was also nearby, so they ran to her. Look what Krishna is doing. Because Krishna was always teasing his friends also. It's not that he was only teasing the gopis and snatching their pots or pulling their braids. He will do to this his friends. And then when they try to do something, he was strong. Or if they play and Krishna would get defeated, then he has to carry them on his back. He won't do that. So he will not keep his words. So they thought that let's get him spanked by Mother Yashoda. So they saw that now he cannot escape because he is eating and Yashoda is right there. So they went. So Yashoda just came because she was just passing by. So she came and she caught hold of Krishna's hand. Sa grihitva kare Krishnam upalabhya Yashoda. And then she started speaking strongly to him. Why? Hitaishni. because she was thinking of her welfare, that if he eats clay then he will fall sick. Why is he eating? There is so much food available in the house. If you are hungry, come and eat. Why do you eat this? So bhaya sambhranta prekshanaksham abhasata. So then he became fearful. Says that my mother is always speaking so lovingly to me. What has happened to her? She did not even become angry at me when all these gopis came and complained. And these boys are complaining, she is getting angry at me. What is this? He was shocked a little bit because he has not seen Yashoda in this mood, getting angry. She was always very loving and kind, affectionate, calling Krishna with various affectionate names. And now suddenly he saw her that she was in a different mood. So bhaya sambhranta prekshanaksham. So then he was looking with fearful eyes. And then Yashoda was speaking to him. So kare grihitva iti palayana ashankya upalabhya nirbhatsya. So why was she holding him by the hand? Because she thought that if I don't hold him by the hand, he will run away and he will wash his mouth and then come, look, where is it? I didn't eat anything. So she caught him so that he does not run away. And then she spoke harshly or strongly to him. Hitaishni iti upalambha tadanadau api premna posha eva natu tatra dosha. So one may say that she is a devotee of Krishna. How is that she can do something like this? Because bhakti means anukullena Krishna anukulnam bhakti ruttama. So what is the anukulya, what is the favorable action here when Krishna is becoming fearful? If you do favorable activity for somebody, that person should feel happy. But here Krishna is feeling scared. So how can this be considered as an act of bhakti? Right? So therefore the sloka says hitaishini, that her intention is to do good to. So anukulyena anushilnam, that anukulya here, the intention is anukulya, not that otherwise he cannot speak like this. So therefore he says that this speaking to him like this is also manifestation of her love. This is also for his good. Therefore it is not a defect or it is not an act against bhakti. Putramiti maturiyam ritireva natu aniti. He says this is natural between mother and son, that if son is doing some mistake, then it's duty of the mother to correct. So there is nothing wrong with it. It is not improper, rather it is proper action. Bhaya sambhranta iti parmeswarasya api tadrishatvam prema vashyatva dyotanaya bhushnam eva natu dushnam iti bhava. So it says that Krishna is the Parameshwara, Isvara Parama Krishna. So he is Parameshwara. So how is that he is fearful? So he says this is his subjugation out of love. That love is so powerful that it controls even the supreme controller. The one who controls everybody becomes controlled by the prema. So, aham bhakta paradhina. As Vishnu told Durvasa that I am under the control of my devotees. And don't think that I am independent. I cannot do anything without the sanction of my devotees. I cannot act against them. So this is what is described here. So therefore this fear of Krishna, who is Parameshwara, is only the ornament and not a defect, bhushnam and not dushnam. Sri Yashoda Uvacha, Yashoda spoke, Kasmad midam adantatman bhavan bhakshitvan raha vadanti tavakahiyete kumaraste grajopi ayam. So she asked that, "O uncontrolled child, why did you eat clay?" Kasmad mridam adantatman. Adantatman means your mind is very uncontrolled, or rather your senses, dhamma. So bhakshitvan, so in this secret place, why did you eat this? And she is speaking very respectfully. She says Bhavan. So Bhavan is spoken when you speak very respectfully, it is in third person. So Vadanti, so Krishna says, why you say that I am eating? He says, Vadanti tavakahiyete kumar. He says, all your friends are saying all this. He says, these friends, you believe them? He says, they tell lies. So why would they tell lies? He says, because they want that you chastise me. And why do they want that? He says, because I always defeat them in the play. So they don't want to take revenge. So then Yashoda says, Agrajopi ayam, that your elder brother is also saying. So okay, if your other children may be liar, but your elder brother Balram is not against you. So he says, well, he is also influenced by them. I'm sorry to say, but my elder brother also got influenced by them. So please, you don't get influenced. That is the meaning. So he Adant Atman, Chanchal Gatra. So you, naughty boy, he Anavasthita Chitta, you whose mind is very unstable, he is supposed to be Yogeshwara, but he is called here as Anavasthita Chitta. How can one Anavasthita Chitta can be Yogeshwara? Right? Mood Vikshipta, Vimood, and then, hey, what is that? Canto. 5 stages of the Chitta. So Anavasthita Chitta is not even qualified for meditation. How can he be Yogeshwara? Sakshipta mood Vikshipta. So Mridamiti Madgrihe kim sitadikam na prapnoti bhava. Why are you eating clay? You don't have food in my house. I have sweets, I have yogurt, I have butter. So why you are eating this? Rahaiti mat sakshat tadashakte. And why are you eating it in a lonely place? Because you cannot eat in front of me. So you are trying to hide. Vadanti tavkaiti na mithyapvadaiti bhava. So these friends are speaking. So therefore it is not just a lie. Otherwise why would they talk like this? Mat tadanadika kshanayete mad vairina eva iti chet. So if you say that they are saying it mat tadanakankshana iti, that they actually are wishing that I get beaten up by you, that's why they are saying it. So he says, but why your brother is also saying it? Baldevo piti ayam iti tvat sakshadeva iti natra sandhe. And Agrajopi ayam means Balram was also standing there, because Balram is innocent person. He is not tricky like Krishna. So he says, look, he is standing and he is also saying, yes, you have eaten. So you cannot say that everybody is just against you and that's why they are complaining. So now Krishna, he got caught. Says, what is to be done now? So Sri Krishna vacha. So naham bhakshitvanamba sarve mithya vishanshinaha yadi satya girastarhi samaksham pashyame mukham. So Krishna said that, my mother, please listen to me. I did not eat. Then what about all these people? He says they're all bunch of liars. Just because they are many and I am one does not mean that they are right and I am wrong. The truth is not dependent on voting. How many people are saying and how many are not saying. One person is truthful, 100% can be wrong. 100%, 100 wrong people cannot become right. So he says they are sarve mithya vishanshina. So yadi satya girastarhi, and if you think that what they are saying is right, so this if is problematic. If you are so sure that they are wrong, then why you say if? This is where he made the mistake. He should just say they are telling lies. So he says yadi satya girastarhi. If you think they are right, look at my mouth. So it is said in Niti that the strength of a thief is telling lies. Strength of a boy, child is crying. Balanam rodanam balam. And choranam balam anritam. So to tell lies is the power of a thief. More expertly you can tell lies, good thief you are. So Krishna was thief, but he is quite expert. He should have run away. He could have taken some other route, but he did not do that. Maybe he was not able to release himself. Right? He could have done something else. He could have spitted everything and said, look, my... So, but he boldly said, at least he is making a bold statement, that naham bhakshitvanam, I have not eaten. And they are all telling lies. So this is how a liar speaks. He tries to prove that everyone is wrong and he is right. But he is ready to give the proof. That is interesting. So he actually did not think that the mother will go to that extent. See, he was so confident. Krishna was so confident, he thought that if I speak confidently that I have not eaten and they are telling lies, then my mother will believe me. And then she is not going to ask me, open your mouth. So he was overconfident. And in his overconfidence, he went up to the extent of saying that if you think that they are right, you can see my mouth. Because he thought that if I say this, then she will say, okay, if this person is speaking when I'm holding his hand and he's ready to open his mouth and show, that means he has not eaten. How can he tell such a blatant lie? It is not possible. So this is the extent of his confidence. So a thief, this is a real thief, real liar. That he is so expert in lying that he is going up to the extent, the ultimate limit, that well, you can check, I have no problem, I don't do such things. You know that. Maybe you don't know, you can ask Devaki. When Devas came, they prayed like that. Satyavratam Satyaparam cha Satyam. Satyasya nihitam cha Satya. Right? So the first sloka they uttered about me, even before I was born, every word in their statement began with Satya. So how can I now be mithya? If I am not truthful, then Advaita Vedantis are saying world is already mithya. The only truth is me. If I am not truth, then where is the truth? There will be no truth. That is not possible. There has to be some truth somewhere. And if I am, who is the basis of everything, Janmadashayata, if I am not truthful, then what is truthful? So please don't believe anybody. Trust me. I can open my mouth if you want, but I know you are my mother, you will not ask me to do that. So he says, you can check. Krishna Uvacha Nahamiti Balya Svabhavena Tadan Bhayat Mithya Uktir Vatsalya Poshika. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says that out of his nature of child or being a small boy, he was afraid of getting beaten up. So therefore he tells lies. But this telling lies is also Vatsalya Ras Poshaka. This also nourishes the love of Yashoda towards him. So that's why he is doing. He is just as Yashoda wants to do everything to please him, he is also doing activities to give pleasure to her. So Ateva Vatsalyadinam Rasanam Prema Vilasmayatvat Prembatam cha Bhaktatvat Bhagavatas cha Bhaktvatsalat. So he says that all these rasas, the relationships such as Vatsalya, paternal, so they are all manifestations of prema vilas. And these devotees, they are all full of love, prem vatam cha bhaktatvat. Because of their devotee, they are full of love. And Bhagavan also is Bhaktavatsal. He also has love for his devotees. So the meaning is that the devotees are acting to please Krishna, and Krishna also does all his activities. Even if he is telling lies or he is breaking pots or he is stealing, whatever he is doing all these activities to give pleasure to his devotees. So this will be very difficult for common person to understand, and therefore they don't want these activities to be described, because they want God to be clean slate, serious person. No one can point a finger. So that's fine. But there is no rasa in that. So he wants to give bliss to his devotees, therefore he is called Bhaktavatsala, and therefore he does all these activities. That's the meaning behind these activities. Bhaktvatsalya sacha prithvi yukta satya saucha dayadi nitya chinmaya sarvguna chakravartitvat Bhaktvatsalya gunang bhuta chaiti evam bhutatve mithyadyo bhagavati na doshayante. So it says that Mother Earth in the first canto, in 16th chapter, there is a whole list of qualities of Krishna. When she was speaking to the bull, Prithvi in the form of earth, cow, the earth in the form of cow was speaking to the bull. So there she lists various characteristics, and the first one mentioned that is Satyam, that he is truthful, Daya, compassionate, and so on. So these qualities are all transcendental. Nitya Chinmaya Sarvaguna Chakravartitvat. Because Krishna is the emperor of all good qualities. Or these qualities are the emperor of all the good qualities. And these all qualities, they are part of one supreme quality. Of all the qualities, Krishna has the supreme quality of Krishna is his love for his devotees. Bhaktavatsa. That means even truthfulness is not the highest quality, although in the material world, truthfulness, non-violence, these are considered as great qualities. Satyam vada, dharmam chara, mahim syat sarva bhutani, all these Vedic statements. But beyond these this is the quality of love of Krishna for his devotees. And in love, he can tell lies. If that is going to nourish the love. Obviously, he is not going to tell lies so that the love diminishes. So to nourish the love of his devotees, he can do all these things, because that's what love means. That you want to nourish, want to please the object of love. So if that pleasure is going to come by telling lies, by stealing, by breaking, by whatever, then he do that. So that's why it goes beyond all dharma. If you are going to follow the principle of dharma, then you cannot do that. So then truthfulness will take upper position than love. So that he does not want in relationship with his devotees. In other places where he is not dealing with people as devotees, then he can do that with jnanis, with karmis, and then there he will manifest these other qualities as supreme. But here the most wonderful quality, the topmost quality is the quality of love. So therefore even telling lies is not a defect here. So then it is difficult for common person who think morality is the highest, because here there is nothing moral or immoral. This is beyond that. So pratyut mahaguna chudamani bhavanti iti vivachaniya. He says therefore it should be understood that his telling lies is actually the supreme of all the good qualities. It is beyond the other qualities of being compassionate, being this, being that. So I'll stop here. Any question on this?
Babaji, I have a question.
Yes.
When lying here is being described as nourishing to rasa, and nourishing rasa is being cast as a way of satisfying his bhakta, I'm wondering if the idea of it is that by telling a lie, he creates a necessity for, in this case, Yashoda, to become more intensely absorbed in her role and her self-identification as his mother. And through that absorption in her own form of attachment to him, she ultimately feels greater satisfaction or bliss in that absorption, even though externally or superficially a mother is typically displeased when her son lies to her.
Yes. Yes, she is absorbed, she is listening, she is She's just feeling that my son does all these activities, so there is something to talk about it. Because if he's just straightforward, then there's nothing to talk about him. We are also talking about because he did something crooked, not straightforward thing. So this devotees, it gives pleasure to devotees. They think of him, they absorb. People like us, we are thinking, why is he doing this? But in case of Yashoda, as he said, she becomes more absorbed in him. Either she is thinking, well, why my child is doing like this, I have to correct her, then she is absorbed. Or she is just enjoying hearing the complaint. Because hearing about your own child, you feel happy. After all these gopis also, they were enjoying, even complaining they were enjoying. So he is the center of their talk. And this is giving pleasure to Yashoda, that everybody is talking about my child, even if they are complaining. So there's absorption in that.
I had one other question, just to clarify if I understood the Tika properly. In gist, what it seems that he's saying is that this act of lying is a subpart or an expression of his quality of Bhakta Vatsalya. And because Bhakta Vatsalya is an exalted quality, then any other sub-quality that's an expression of that is also recognized as an exalted quality, rather than a fault.
Yes. Yeah, that's what he said. Bhakta Vatsalya guna anga bhuta mithyadaya bhagavati na doshayante. That's what he said.
Okay, cheers.
So I thought about this discussion from 2 days ago about the stealing versus offering something to Bhagavan. And could we say that the way how the stealing that Krishna steals from the gopis' houses, it shows the greatness of their love is that we make an effort to put some love into something, and then we offer it to Krishna, and then he can take it or not. But the Vrajavasis, they even if they don't offer it to him, because they have so much natural love, when they make all this love for Krishna, when they make all this yogurt and so on, then Krishna gets attracted to the yogurt and all the things they prepare.
No, they desired that he should come and steal, because they want to come and they want to see him coming to their house. So that they wish that he will come to our house and do all this.
So, but why did they not invite him to come to their house and
Because you are not understanding what is play. So you can go to somebody's house, sit, and then what is he going to do there? He's not some kathavachak, he's nothing, he's a small boy, okay, he comes there, he will come, but now he goes and does all these activities, they watch, they see, there's much more fun in that. It's like you eat sweets, and I give you food, breakfast sweets, lunch sweet, dinner you will say, come on, stop this. You can eat food every day without sweets, no problem. But you try to eat only sweets. After 2 meals, you will say, enough I had. Please get some salty stuff in. He will be craving for that. So this is the rasa. What you are saying is keep on giving sweets. Invite him, feed him, he goes. Just means just both sides being nice. That's what you are saying. So that's why I said that the taste which comes in the butter when you eat by stealing is different than if you just get it. You have never stolen, so you don't know this. The practical thing. Why is that people, they are married, husband and wife, or their girlfriend, boyfriend, why then they have illicit relationship? What is the greatness in illicit relationship? Why it is more attractive than the normal relation? It is the same thing as eating sweet and eating salty stuff. Okay.
Just one question. How should we understand, like, Krishna forgets his condition of God in all?
He does not forget it. He is not God. He doesn't know. He does not know that he is God. Forget means I know and then I forget. He does not think he is God. That thinking God business is outside Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, his identity is that I am son of Nanda and Yashoda and I am a cowherd boy. That is his permanent identity. And whenever he does some activities, lifting Govardhan or showing this thing in his mouth, and all this is his Aishwarya potency which becomes manifest. He is not thinking of it. So that's why there is so much sweetness in his Leela here. We are always thinking of God being great, but when God is not God, that is great. It's just like if you are some big officer and you go home. It happens, somebody is a judge or a police or army officer, they come home, they're carrying their office to home. So as soon as they come home, everybody becomes straight. Oh, daddy is coming. So now you sit down, be serious. So that is not fun. So when you come home, then leave your judgeship, your officer position, whatever you may be, in your office and come home as a father, as a husband, as a brother or whatever. Then they will relate with you out of love, not out of fear. So as soon as you come, everything has to be silent, don't disturb him, he will get angry, he is a big judge. So Krishna is not bringing that thing, that Aishwarya into Vrindavan. This is what the whole thing is to explain. That in Vraj he does not bring that mood of Aishwarya at all. He himself does not think. Nor Yashoda will think or Nanda Maharaj. For them he is purely their son, that's all. Even when he is doing all these things, this is mainly for us to understand that we should not start thinking that he is an ordinary person. Because if we think, we are in trouble. Yashoda thinks he is ordinary, that is her greatness. If we think he is ordinary boy, we are in absolute trouble. So Vyasadeva is reminding us regularly that he is Swam Bhagavan, don't forget, he is Swam Bhagavan. So that you don't start becoming offensive towards him, which many people are in India, and in the West also. So many of people from other religion, they make fun of these things because they cannot understand. So So that's what happens, because they cannot understand that he is actually Bhagavan. So that's why I'm saying that we have to keep that in mind. Otherwise, because we have material mind, which is prone to commit offense and disrespect and disregard. So therefore, this Aishwarya aspect is also brought in here, so that we don't get off track the path of sadhana bhakti. Anything else? All right.